Hope you're having a good day. This is the first time I've ever done a playthrough. Doing a playthrough of Reconquista, The Struggle for Moorish Spain. It is White Dog Games, designed by David Kershaw. I had seen some reviews online of the print and play version. This is the White Dog Games version, and I enjoyed playing it. I played it through once. I'd like to give it another shot. Everything comes off this player aid sheet. This player aid sheet's an amazing thing. Hopefully I'll find a picture of it so I can throw it up on the video so y'all can see at least part of it. You are Spain. You are the white units up at the top of the map, and you eventually try to take over the entire map. The board has something called regions and areas. It says regions are these big spaces and areas are these individual. I'm going to change the area to just use the term cities. It's easier for me. Regions are the bigger areas, the cities are the individual spots. So let's just go play the game and see what happens. First thing that you do is you roll for rebellion. So you roll for the region first. Which region is going to have a problem? So you roll, okay, region 4. This would be region Portugal has a problem. What is the problem? You roll it, and it is a problem of a peasant revolt. Randomly select an area with a garrison but no army or military order. Remove all garrisons, replace with a single rebel unit. Early game, this helps you because it hurts the Muslim armies. So let's see which random region has a problem. Random region of 2. So the garrison is replaced, and it is replaced with a rebel unit. Rebel units will stay in the map. Will stay in those places until they are removed. What is the point of the game? The point of the game is to reconquer the map, and then at the end you get victory points depending on how many cities you have, how many regions you have, etc. So that is the roll for rebellion. Now you roll for a random event. Same exact thing as before. You roll 2 dice, and in this case the 2 dice will tell us what to do. So roll 2 dice, total of 7. 7 is famine. Remove 1 unit per 3 in each area. In each city, if there is more than 3 units, we would remove 1 of them. No city has more than 3 units, so that would not be effective. We don't have to worry about that. Now we raise income and spend it. You automatically get 2 income, and you get 1 income for every region that you have more cities than the Muslim. Beginning of the game, I don't have any. You also would get 1 extra income if you can control San Diego. We don't. So the only income we have to start with is 2. So what do? You buy 2 garrisons. And I'll explain why for that in a second. Buy 2 garrisons. Each garrison costs 1. Once again, that's shown on your player aid. Easy to understand. I will put both of those up at the top of the map so that my move is my next action, and my move is relatively a no-brainer. I want to take Santiago. I want to take Santiago because I want to pick up that value. So I'm going to go ahead and send all my troops over here. Since Santiago is not a city, we just go straight into a battle. I have 3 garrisons, 1 army. It has a garrison. Now, the one advantage that the Muslim army has in this case is that they are in the mountainous region. And mountainous region means that they get to fire first, and whatever happens is removed from the map. So they'll roll their black die, and they roll a 4. That's a miss, once again, right off the player aid sheet. Garrisons only hit on a 5 or 6. So there's no damage done. I will roll my 3 garrisons back first, hoping for a 5 or 6. And I get a hit, and that's sufficient to remove the garrison from the game. I take that space. Now what the game does well is it lets you keep moving. Each turn is supposed to cover, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So it lets you keep moving unless you're going to siege a city. Well, I want to continue moving. I want to try, if I can, to take over this city. But I don't know how I'm going to do this without giving up the city that I'm at. Let's do it and see what happens. I'm going to go try to take over whatever city that is, Leon. And so we're going to go do a siege. Now, I've left Orleans undefended. I just hope that the Muslim army is not going to come up here. I've left a garrison in Santiago, hoping that it'll hold too. Now we move on to the 5th stage, and the 5th stage is the Muslim force reacts. What you do here is, once again, you roll one die to determine the region that's going to have a problem. Region number 2. Region number 2 is Aragon. Aragorn. Now, I roll to see what the reaction will be. The roll of the dice will tell me. Roll of 2. So I have a roll of 2. And Aragorn has how many cities controlled in this region? They have 1, 2 cities that are controlled. With a die roll of 2 and 2 cities, they just gain a garrison, which is a huge benefit for me, because their army won't move. You just roll randomly to see where they put the garrison. The garrison shows up in number 2. Yep, right there. And that is the end of the Muslim move. And that works out well for me because we go straight into the siege spot and I don't have to worry about defending those 2. So how does a siege work? Well, I have 2 garrison in an army. I'm rolling against a garrison that is in a city. Once again, the player aid sheet tells me what's going to happen in a battle siege. Garrison has a value of 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Army has a value of 2. So I have 4. The defending garrison has 1. The city also has a value of 1. So right now it's 4-2. I'm winning in this siege. Now we each roll a dice. Garrison each has a value of 1. So 1, 2. Army has a value of 2. So that's 2. That's a total of 4. Garrison has a value of 1. That's 1. City has a value of 1. So that makes it 2. We'll roll 2 dice. Black will be for the Muslim. White will be for the Spanish. And in this case, the conquering troops are the Spanish. Spanish take the city. Now, we need to roll to see if the city survives the siege or not. And it's entirely possible that it will not survive the siege. David Kershaw, in his rules, he said if the results is an even results, the city is destroyed. And so when I asked him, he's post on BGG, no big deal. Hey, what's supposed to happen? Is it the roll? Is it a second roll? Is it the total? He said, Matt, do whatever you want. And so I'm going to make a second roll. I'm always going to do this. I'm going to have the battle, and then at the end of the battle, I'm going to roll another dice. If the die is even, the city is destroyed. If the die is odd, the city is safe. So let's go ahead and see what happens. We want the city to be safe if possible, and it is not. It is destroyed. Sieges are terrible things. So the city is destroyed, but that is the end. That is the end of the first round. So now we advance the turn marker, moves to turn 2, and we begin turn 2. That's the entire game. It's relatively quick. Now your choices are basically, what do you do with your armies? The garrisons have to stay in the region. The armies can move out. When the armies move out, they have to move by the road. So we'll play another turn. We'll see if I can create another problem here. We're going to roll for rebellion first. First we roll for the place of it. It's going to be Aragorn again, number 2. Now we're going to roll for what happens in it. Number 3, proselytizing. Select a random city in the region and change its religion. Another great thing to happen for me because I don't think there's any Christian cities here in this region. Let's roll. It's a 4, which is 5, 6, 2, 3. Okay, I made a mistake. Let's do it. Oh, there is a Christian religion. We're going to do 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6. Try it again. 1 through 3. So this one switches, and that is a Muslim city. So that goes to a Christian city. Proselytizing. Why did I throw those units? I just threw off the board somewhere. I don't even know where I put them. Nope, there they are. Alright, now it's on the second thing. Roll for random event. Roll 2 dice for that. It is number 5. 5 raiders. 6d6 raiders appear. Where do they appear at? The first one, we're going to figure out where they begin. Number 4. They can be one of these 2 places. They're going to be in Marcia. And how many raiders is it going to be? Another d6 roll tells me how many. It is going to be 2 raiders in Marcia. Mercia, I don't know how to say these things. So 2 raiders appear. And they'll show up right here. They'll end up battling the garrisons at those points. That is a random event. Roll, raise income. My income is now how much? It starts with 2. I control Santiago, moves to 3, and I control the majority of cities in this area. If there's no unit in the city, the controlling city is the one with the icon in the top. So in this case, I now have 4. I'm going to buy 2 garrison and 1 army. I'm going to go ahead and do an invasion for y'all. Now it has to go into a city. Not a problem. I could have built a fort too. Forts cost 1. And forts are great, but not going to use it here. They have to go in a city. They go down here. Now I'm going to do my move action, and I'm going to use my move action to attempt to attack a fort. You'll see how that works, and I'll probably lose. Send both armies down here to attack this fort. We're probably going to lose that. I'm going to go ahead and have a battle over here, try to take out the Muslims in this area. And then we will now roll for Muslim moves. I guess we do this battle first. 1 garrison versus 4. I can actually, no, let's not do it. Defending unit fires first because they're in the mountains. 1 hit. That garrison does not get to return fire. 3 garrisons fire back. And they do not hit. The rules say at that point the attackers retreat, but they can attack again, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not going to retreat. I would attack again. They do not get their first fire opportunity anymore. So now both fire at the same time. Muslim misses, garrisons, Spanish, there we go, we got our hit. And the Spanish units continue to move to just spread out a little bit. And now you see they hold the entire region. Now, we're going to have this battle against this fort over here, but since it's only 1 unit that you're attacking, you don't have a battle yet. The Muslim units have a chance to respond. Muslim force reacts. First off, you roll the region that they're in first. It is region number 5. It's down here. Typically, I would roll another dice. Roll another dice, compare it on this chart, on the sheet, to tell me what to put down. But I want to put down an army. I want to show you how a Muslim army moves. I think it's pretty unique. And it's actually a lot of fun. It can be scary at times. We'll put the 3rd army down here. And I forgot to run a battle over here. So it's 2 rebels against 1 Muslim. We'll give the rebels the black dice, give the Muslim the white dice. Garrisons and rebels hits on 5 or 6. And the rebels have a hit. Muslim do not have a hit, so Muslim goes away. Rebels take that area and win that. Now, let's go with the Muslim reaction. There are 3 armies, and the armies will move. They'll always move in this sequence. They're in a 2 to 3 city now. They'll look for number 4. They move to number 4, and in number 4 is going to be a battle. So we set up a battle. 3 army, 2 rebels. And in this case, we'll let the rebels fire first, hit on 5 or 6. 1 hit. Rebels, the Muslims get to fire back. They get to fire back with all 3. Only in the mountains does the first attack actually remove the unit. They fire back with all 3. They get to hit on a 4, 5, or 6. And they have 2 hits. And that would kill the rebel army. Rebels are now gone. 1 army unit is gone for the Muslims. 2 more. Muslims continue to move. They'll move to number 5 and 6. If there was an army here, they would pick it up. There is not one. They now move to 1. The entire region is clear of forces. They now look to move to the next region that has enemy forces in it. They look, they move to number 1. Oh, there's enemy forces here in Portugal. Move to 4, 5, nothing there. Move to 6, nothing there. Move to 1, nothing there. Move to 2, 3. There's a unit there, and it will lay siege. How does it lay siege? Whenever a Muslim army comes to lay siege, it will leave as many army as there are units on the space. This was confusing to me, but after it was explained, it made sense. In this case, let's say that there were 3 army that were moving. It would leave 2 here because there's 1 rebel and there's 1 city. And the other unit would continue to move. It would move to 1, and then it would then try to move in and attack the garrison. Siege works. How does the siege work? We've showed that before, I think, but the armies for Muslims about the same. Muslim, each army is worth a value of 2, so you have a value of 4 there. Rebels worth 1. City is worth 1, so you have 2. and then you just roll. Black will be for Muslim, white will be for rebels. We'll see who wins the battle. Oh wow, that's horrible. The rebels win this battle. So what happens is an army dies, army retreats to someplace he wants to. He'll retreat probably over here, and the rebels would hold the city. I think that's probably the most confusing parts of the game right there. I hope you enjoy the playthrough. I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed my playthrough of it. It was quick. The first couple turns took a little bit of time. But near the end, you began to take over the board as you garrison up your region and then send armies out. It can really tell a story as when I played through, I think I had 3 or 4 jihads as the Muslim armies came in through the ports and tried to push back against me. It just created a wonderful story. I think you can probably find the game relatively cheap, and I think it's a lot of fun. Hope you have a great day. I appreciate you taking the time to watch a little bit. Take care, guys.